We are here today in a city just outside of Natal in Brazil, and we have had an awesome morning. We're working with one of the local churches. Lots of church people with us on the street sharing the gospel. A couple of stories from this morning. First, when we got to the church, we met a couple of men just sat on chairs inside their home, and we sat down with them. Their hearts were very open, and we led them to Jesus and hooked them up right away with the local pastor. We walked down the street a little ways, and we saw a man just sat outside of his house and went by and began to share with him. His name was David, and in a few minutes we led David to the Lord, to Jesus, and it was an incredible moment. He was so sincere. We found out after that he was after having a stroke, and we got to pray for him. And his wife attends the local church here, and now David is going to attend the local church as well, and we've hooked him up with the pastor. A little ways further down the street we met, I think there was 5, maybe 6 guys that were doing some masonry work on a building, and we got to stop and share the gospel with them, and all of them prayed to invite Jesus in their heart. And the names and contact information was passed along to the local pastor, and they'll be hooked up with the local church here as well. And right after that we had an incredible experience in a school where we went in with about 150 kids and got to go in a group and share the gospel with them. And they were so excited to pray and invite Jesus in their heart and receive their own copies of the book of John. And it was an incredible moment. Hearts of people are open here in Brazil, and we are so excited to be here and so excited that you folks partner with us to allow us to come as Canadian teams and work with the churches and to encourage the churches and share the good news of Jesus in this nation. Well, it's 5 o'clock in the evening and we have had an awesome day. After lunch we went to a clinic. And when we got to the clinic, there were no patients, but there was doctors and nurses and folks who worked at the clinic. We got to share the gospel right in the clinic with that group of doctors and professionals, and 8 of them prayed to invite Jesus in their heart and fill out decision cards afterwards. We left the clinic and then we went to the streets, and we had a number of encounters on the street. One of the ones was a gentleman named Alberto. And we sat at a shopkeeper's door and shared with Alberto, and he was so excited to hear the good news of Jesus, and we led him to the Lord. He prayed to invite Jesus in his heart, filled out a decision card, and we had many other very good encounters on the street this afternoon, sharing the gospel with people, leading them to Jesus. Right after the street we went to a school, and they told us first we weren't going to get into school, but we did. The principal let us in. A very well-behaved school. A lot of senior high students got to go into the classrooms, share the gospel with them, and they were so attentive. And I think in the classrooms that we've done, everybody there prayed to invite Jesus in. It was incredible to see. This has been an exciting day here in Natal. Other members of our team are doing the same thing on other parts of the city, and we are just amazed at what God is doing here in this city.